A new chapter in New Orleans Saints history begins today as rookie quarterback Tyler Shough makes his first NFL start in Week 9 of the regular season. Will Shough's Hollywood tale turn out to be legendary, fulfilling, full of victories and prosperity? The Saints' highest drafted quarterback since Archie Manning in 1971 begins today writing his own story. Well, welcome to Saints Game Day Live. I'm John DeShazier. We are on NewOrleansSaints.com. I'm joined by Super Bowl champion Scott Shanley, and the Saints are on the road today, Scott, at SoFi Stadium against the Los Angeles Rams. Kickoff at 3:05 p.m. Central Time, and the Saints have a tall task ahead of them in this one, Scott. Starting the rookie quarterback, you're on the road. A lot of people would say, you know what, let's do this at home. But instead, Coach Kellen Moore says we're going to break him in and cut his teeth on the road against a really good team. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think a lot of people maybe thought this move, if it was going to happen, would happen after the bye week. But I think you're at the point of the season now where you have an opportunity to get a couple games under Tyler's belt. You go into the bye week, and now you can sit him down and say, this is what you're doing well. This is what you're not doing so well. This is how we need to change our game plan for you. So I think, Spencer did a lot of good things, but I think when the turnovers started happening, and Coach Moore said it last week, we were just looking for a spark. We need to find a spark. We need to find a way to score more than 20-some points. And I think it's a tough environment. Don't get me wrong. It's a tough team and a tough defense to go against, but I think the time is right to see Tyler Shough.
A lot of rookies get tossed to the Wolves early in their seasons, but Tyler Shough has had 8 games to watch. Now, he played about half the game last week against Tampa Bay, but he's had really 8 games to kind of sit, soak, look at the speed of the game. How beneficial can it be for a guy to sit and watch?
It's extremely beneficial. And we're in an era now where when you draft guys, everybody wants them playing day one. And I understand it. We don't have any patience. But if you look at the Green Bay Packers, are a great example for what happens when you draft a guy and you allow him to sit and learn from a veteran, you allow him to adjust to the speed of the game. And I know it's only half the season or almost half the season that Tyler's been able to do that, but he comes in the game against a good Tampa Bay team who's had a lot of success defensively, against Todd Bowles, who blitzes a lot. And there's just little things you look for, like the ball jumping out of his hand, seeing some of these deep routes he throws on the sideline. There's a reason they drafted him 40th overall. He has arm talent, and so now it's just about putting it together and building this offense around the things that he does well.
Yeah, we're talking about Tyler Shough, and who better to discuss Shough than head coach Kellen Moore? We will get with our weekly one-on-one exclusive right now.
Coach, Tyler Shough named the starting quarterback. How have you seen him progress since we saw him in the preseason?
Yeah, he just takes each and every day as an opportunity to get better. Anytime you're a scout team quarterback, you get a chance to kind of test yourself, put yourself in different situations. So I think it's prepared him for now.
What is the process like of tweaking the offense so it better suits what Tyler does well?
Yeah, I think it's an ongoing process through the whole week. I think it's putting together the game plan based off the opponent and then shifting it towards, as Tyler and I have more conversations as the week progresses, we'll shift it towards what we need to do.
The Rams come in with the number 3 scoring defense. They have 26 sacks on the season. It's going to be a tall task. What do you need the offense to do to have success from the start?
Yeah, we just got to play really clean football. We got to avoid the turnovers, avoid the penalties, put ourselves in positive situations to compete on third downs, and so a lot of that's going to have to do with what we do on first and second down.
What is that balance that you'd like to see between the pass and run game?
Yeah, obviously we need to run the football in this game. I think everyone knows that. We got to have more consistency, more balance, and that'll be a key factor in this.
Does that mean adding any more players, more reps for Taysom Hill or Devin Neal?
There's definitely opportunities for those guys. The last game, unfortunately, we didn't get there. I got to get there a little bit sooner in a game like that, and so those guys certainly deserve more opportunities.
Shough said that he was excited about this matchup, going up against a tough defense. Said it would be a good opportunity to let it rip. What do you like about that mentality?
Yeah, I think just his ability to handle the adversity and have the confidence in the world. Just go trust yourself and do everything you've been doing, for the last few months.
The Rams led by quarterback Matt Stafford right now. He leads the league in passing touchdowns. He's got Devontae Adams now. Puka Nacua is going to be back. What are the challenges that they present there for the defense?
Yeah, Matthew's playing as well as anyone in this league. He's been doing it for a long, long time. He's been at the top of the league for a long, long time, and so you just got to be really detailed. They're going to make some catches. You got to compete for the football each and every time. We got to do an excellent job in the pocket of, compressing that and pushing the pocket and putting as much stress as we can on him.
We came off a really good game against the Bucs defensively. Chase Young was all over the place, extremely aggressive. What did you like about his play?
Yeah, I thought our pass rush came alive. I thought those guys made some plays. I thought Chase did made some excellent plays to impact the game in a positive manner, and we just need that relentlessness to continue to go.
In the preseason, we saw the Rams in the joint practices. It's been a few weeks since then, and there's obviously some coaching crossover there with Staley having been a coach for the Rams. What can you glean from any of that going into this one?
There's a little bit of awareness to it, but a lot of stuff transpires over the course of a couple months. They're playing really good football. Certainly, we all naturally watch it just to see it, but there's a lot of stuff that kind of comes between then and now.
Okay, it's Halloween weekend. I always throw something at you. So what was your favorite Halloween costume that you ever worn?
I tend to be a football player. A teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle is probably my favorite one. That would probably be the main one.
Yeah, I like that. Which one were you?
I can't remember.
But pizza was included.
Yes, for sure.
Absolutely, and candy. Thank you so much, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Well, the costume we're hoping Tyler Shuck is wearing today is Ram Slayer or something of that nature, Scott, because he's going to have a lot on his shoulders. What are we expecting from that Saints offense against that Rams defense?
Yeah, the tall task. I think you alleviate the concerns about playing a guy in his first start on the road against the team that has the second most sacks in the NFL. You alleviate a little bit of concern by being really aggressive in the run game. But your offensive line, if I'm an offensive line coach or an offensive lineman in the room this week, I'm saying, hey, guys, this is on us. We have to protect this young guy in the pass game. We have to give the advantage to our offense by running the ball well. So I think today's game is about the offensive line more than it is Tyler. If they play well today against this front, I think the Saints are going to surprise some people.
And obviously the Saints need to run the football well, and they need the offensive line to perform well in that function too. That's going to be the best help for a rookie quarterback. What can they do to hopefully unlock this running game?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is scheme-wise. It's going to be hard to just line up and run it in between the tackles against this defense. They're really good in the front. So pre-snap motion, get a little chaotic with some of these run game personnel groupings, different types of ways to manipulate the defense instead of just lining up and running right at them. Because their defense coordinator is Chris Shula. He's the grandson of Don Shula, famous coach of the Miami Dolphins. He's aggressive. He's going to bring a lot of heat. He's going to try to stop the run first, and he's going to say, hey, rookie quarterback, you try to beat us on the outside in your one-on-one. They're minus some DBs, so we'll see how that goes for them defensively. But their strength is their front.
Yeah, maybe the Saints can find some weakness in that secondary. Now, we're going to flip it to the Saints defense because I thought they played their best game of the season last week against Tampa Bay. Gave up 212 yards, only 16 points. Really, you'd hope for a better result for them. What are some of the things you hope to see them carry over against the Rams?
Well, I think last week, I agree with you. It was probably the best game they played besides all the takeaways from the Giants game that they won earlier a couple weeks before. But I thought it was sound football. They did a good job in the run game. Guys were in their gaps. And I think what you're seeing, when you adapt to a new scheme, this Coach Staley scheme from an old scheme, you have to learn what my responsibility is. You have to earn trust in one another. I will do my job, and I'm going to count on my buddy to do his job every single week. And I think last week you saw that. Guys did their job, and the result was pretty good defensively.
Yeah, Saints really took away the run against Tampa Bay. Do that against the Rams, and of course you put the ball in Matthew Stafford's hands, but Matthew Stafford has a couple of receivers, Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, who really can give you fits.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? We're saying stop the run game so that Matthew Stafford gets to throw the ball more. It sounds crazy, but if you can get him into passing situations and now you can pin your ears back as a pass rusher, your chances of winning go up. And that sounds crazy, but it's much easier than being on your heels, defending play action pass, because that's what this offense wants to do. They want to run the ball just enough for you to be like, okay, we don't know quite what we're getting. Now they take those play action shots over the top. So that's why it all starts with stopping the running game, knowing they're going to pass, and then trying to defend it. That's still the hard part because they have outstanding players and an outstanding play caller.
Yeah, you can know exactly what that team is doing in this, and still they have personnel that can do it, whether you know what's coming or not. We're trying to give you recipes for the Saints to be successful in this game. And of course, if we're going to talk recipes, we got to go to Stan Verrett to have his recipes for success for the Saints in this game against the Rams.
The Saints taking on the Rams in Los Angeles this week. They will be substantial underdogs in that game. But let's take a look at a recipe for success that could give them their best chance to pull off an upset. Saints have decided to go with Tyler Shuck at quarterback. Now they have to devise a plan to protect him. The Rams come in with 26 sacks. That's good for second in the NFL so far this season. So the Saints will have to establish the run game to try to slow down that pass rush. They could also use screen passes, delayed handoffs, quick passes. However they need to, they have to try to keep that pass rush off Tyler Shuck this week. The Saints ran the ball just 9 times against Tampa Bay. They'll have to run it more, and they'll have to run it successfully if they hope to beat the Rams. The second ingredient is reducing turnovers. It's not anything new, and it's fairly obvious, but the Saints have to protect the ball better. They had 4 turnovers against Chicago. They came back with 4 more against Tampa Bay on Sunday. And those 4 mistakes against Tampa Bay included an interception return for a touchdown that totally changed the tenor of that game. The Rams come in +3 in turnover margin. They will no doubt try to poke balls out, create turnovers in other ways as they try to exploit any lack of ball security on the Saints' part. So the Saints have to protect the ball if they hope to beat the Rams on Sunday. On defense, the Saints will have to communicate and they will have to tackle. The Rams' passing attack depends on timing, precision, and yards after the catch. That's how they turn short plays into long ones. The Rams expect to get all-pro receiver Puka Nacua back this week, and he specializes in yards after the catch, so the Saints will have to pay special attention whenever he's on the field. They have to be clear on their assignments, and they have to get receivers on the ground after they catch the ball. The Saints' best chance to win is in a low-scoring game in which they extend possessions and end those possessions in points. The Rams allow 16.7 points per game. That's the 3rd fewest in the NFL. So if the Saints are going to win, it'll probably be in a low-scoring game. So they need long possessions. They need to establish the run, take care of the ball, and don't give up big plays.
Stan with some great recipes, and hopefully Stan can be a harbinger of good things because he's going to be at the game in SoFi Stadium. Stan, one of the best fans in the NFL, one of the most active fans in the NFL. Unfortunately, he's inactive when it comes to being on the field. And the Saints have a couple of guys who are inactive in this one. One of the names you won't see on this list, Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara will be active for this game, so that bodes well for the offense. But who are some of the guys on this list that you're looking at, Scott, who might have been able to help in this one and unfortunately can't?
Yeah, I think luckily this is as inactive as an inactive list as we've seen in a long time. You remember the last couple of years, this list got really long. This is a pretty healthy team right now. I think Mitchell Payton, they claimed him from the Ravens. He played a little bit of fullback, big body tight end. So when they made that claim, I didn't know, were they thinking about, having more bigger bodies on the field to get this run game going? But anytime you have Taysom Hill, who plays tight end, running back, quarterback, he fills a lot of needs for you. So I think they don't really need him active yet. But I'm interested to see just how they attack this Rams defense today. To me, it's about being aggressive. I know you don't want to turn the football over. You don't want to get the young guy rattled. But I think if you can find a way to get to 24 points and now say defense, get a couple takeaways, it gets interesting.
Well, I'd love to see the Saints offense put the Rams defense on their heels. I want to see them be aggressive, as you mentioned, Scott. And hopefully that can prove well for them in this game because this is the kind of defense, the Rams, that will tee off and really cause havoc against your quarterback. So hopefully the Saints are able to do some of those things. What are some of the bigger keys in this game that you see, Scott?
I just think, just taking your point, is it's about starting fast. If you get down 14-0 right away out the gate to this Rams team on the road, special teams has to show up. We remember the Seattle game. All 3 phases of the game, special teams be special, but then offensively, you don't want to get down 14-0. We talked about second in the league in sacks. Jared Verse is a problem. It's going to be tough to block him one-on-one. You're going to have to get some chip blocks, but there are matchups I like. I like the Saints receivers versus this banged-up secondary. Jawan Johnson versus Nate Landman, he's mainly a special teams player for the Falcons, but he's been doing a good job playing linebacker for the Rams. There are matchups I think that favor the Saints. Now it's just about not having a fast start, not getting down, and letting them pin their ears back.
Well, let's see if the Saints can take advantage of some of those situations, some of those matchups that Scott mentioned. Hopefully they'll be able to do so. And we will see you post-game right here on NewOrleansSaints.com. For Scott Shanley, I'm John DeShazier. Have a great Saints game day.